let's practice going from the acid name to the acid formula. Remember that an acid it starts with hydrogen, and then it has some part, it may be a polyatomic ion or whatever, after that that's an anion. We treat it like an ionic compound where the hydrogen has a +1 charge, or each hydrogen has a +1 charge, and the part after that is a negative ion. So first we're going to look at the parts of the acid name that tell us something about the anion. We look for hydro, ic, that tells us the anion is just an element. We look for just the ic without the hydro. That tells us that the anion ends in 8. 8 to ic to 8, either way. And then we see this S ending, and that means the anion ends in ite. These two will be polyatomic ions, the 8s and the ics, or 8s and the ites. And then here we have another hydro-ic. That means the anion is just an element again. So let's come up with the formulas for these anions. So just an element, and we see the bromide there. So bromine is in the -1 column on the periodic table. So it has a -1 charge as an anion. We need a phosphorus polyatomic ion that ends in 8. And so that would be phosphate, which is PO4 with a -3 charge. We need a polyatomic ion that ends in ite with sulfur. And that will be, instead of sulfate is SO4, it's more common, but sulfite is one less oxygen, so it's SO3, and the charge is -2. And then this last one, again, hydro, you see that, hydroic, when it's just an element, and so the element would be sulfur, and on the periodic table its charge is -2. Notice that this is easier if you really already know your polyatomic ions. You don't have to think about that part too much. Okay, we're almost there. This part is pretty easy. All you do is you assume that you're putting these anions with hydrogen ions with a +1 charge. And so the charge here will tell you how many hydrogens it needs. Bromine is just a -1, so we just need 1 hydrogen. Phosphate is a -3, so we need 3 hydrogens. Sulfite is a -2, so I need 2. And then sulfide is a -2, so again. And just a warning, when we name it as an acid and we write the formula as an acid, these are all considered aqueous. I know it is very common to call H2S hydrogen sulfide, and that is how we would name it if it's not dissolved in water, if it's in the gas form.